Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this FPV free rider simulator. A few people have requested it on the channel. Now I did buy this on the Android store a little while ago, however I had to get a refund because it only supported the touch mode for mode 2 and I fly mode 1, so I couldn't really do anything with that. I did try to fly a bit with mode 2, I can fly mode 2 slightly, but not very well. Certainly not with an FPV 250 size quadcopter, and that is basically what this is simulating. But you can see here they have updated it. If you see there in the top right hand corner, touch mode 1, I can change it to mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, and back to mode 1 again, so that's great that they have done that. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of the settings. We've got graphics quality here, and I really don't like how they have named it. Look at that, the worst, then tap it again. Ugly, simple, good, better, best. Now, I'm going to keep it on the worst because it doesn't run very well on any of the others, certainly when we get into these other scenarios here, island and playground. Now, this is a Nexus 5 that I'm using this with, and, you know, at the time it came out, it was a flagship phone, and we're talking only like a year and a bit ago. So I really did expect it to run well on these higher settings, but it doesn't. And, you know, I don't think phones have changed that much. Maybe they have, but this phone runs Grand Theft Auto fine, it runs Tomb Raider fine, but not this. So I'm going to keep it on the worst settings, and it doesn't really make much of a difference for these two scenarios here, desert and meadow, because there's not much going on there graphically. But on island and playground we've got moving trees, and it really doesn't work on this best option. So I'm going to keep it on the worst, and I'll show you the difference between the worst and the best. But yeah, I really would rename that because I don't see much difference between these settings. Right, so you've got the audio volume here at the bottom, which you can adjust. If we go on to custom settings, you only get this if you buy it, but you can change the rates. One thing that's a bit annoying is that you don't have any exponential there. Of course, if you're connecting your transmitter up to it, you can do the exponential through the transmitter, but I don't really want this app for that. I want this app for when I'm in, say, a waiting room, waiting to get my haircut in the doctor's. I can just play around with it. I don't have to connect any controllers, but you can connect controllers to it, and we'll go through that a bit later. And so you can see here we've got the angle here, and that means the camera angle, and I think it's set to about 30 on the default, but I've changed it slightly because I like to have the camera slightly pointed down. A lot of these 250 size FPV racers, as they call them, have their camera angled slightly up so that when they are racing forward you get a flat view, you're not looking at the ground. But I don't like that, so I've got the angle slightly favored towards the down, but you do need the angle slightly up so you can see where you're going. You can change the physics and stuff like that. The field of view you can change as well, but I tend to keep it standard. I found that using a higher field of view distorts it too much, and it doesn't quite do it in the same way as an FPV camera with a wide angle lens gets you that wider image. It distorts it and makes it quite difficult to fly. But anyway, I'm just gonna go save and exit there. So let's check out the first scenario, which is desert. Just wait for that to load, and you can see here we've got some other options there. So from standard you have a stabilize mode, self-leveling, and low rates are on. You can change the camera angle, so you've got the angle outside, only 2 camera angles there. You can reset everything as well to standard. You can exit, and you can do a timed race. We'll have a look at that a little bit later. So let's just take off with the self-leveling on. And you can see here that I find it quite challenging to use these touch controls with the self-leveling on, just because you're trying to hold it in a forward position, but because you can't feel any of the controls there, it just sort of skews off on a funny angle. So what I'm going to do is turn it into acro mode, because that's what most people are flying these 250 size quads in. One thing that I noticed, like with anything, the first thing you do is sort of test out your surroundings. So I did full throttle, and you'll notice here when I do full throttle, it gets to a certain height, and then it doesn't go any higher. So you are limited to the height there, but that's not really a problem. But also as well, the scenarios, they do sort of just sort of end like that. So and when you turn up the graphics quality, that doesn't go any further. So the graphics quality doesn't affect how far you can go. It only affects the quality of the image, really. So yeah, I'm happy having this the worst setting, because it runs quite nice and I don't notice much difference. Certainly not on the phone anyway. Maybe you'll notice it on the computer, but you'll see here I've got the rates on low, and that is because we got through. Oh, and we crashed. Yeah, I've got the rates on low because it's impossible to use the touchscreen to fly on the high rates. Like I say, they really could do with working on the touchscreen side of it, because on an Android, I don't think there's going to be many people connecting a controller. I certainly won't be. Anyways, that I'll do that for the PC version, and we will take a look at the PC version. There's not that many differences, but yeah, you can see here, even on the low rates, I'm not doing very well. The most that I can really do, unless I practice more, is kind of just fly through a couple of them. What I can do quite easily though with the touchscreen is sort of fly around them and then every so often get through one of the hoops. But when I connect the controller up, obviously I can be much more accurate. I think it's just down to the touchscreen there. Let's see if I can get through one. No, I hit the thing. I must have hit the bar because I lost power there. Yeah, so let's just let's turn the high rates on. There we go. And it's pretty much impossible. You see, you can do your sort of flips and stuff, but as there's no exponential, it's just really incredibly twitchy, and you can't really do much else with it. You can do these nice rolls here, but try and get under one of these hoops, or just try and get any kind of enjoyment out of it. I'm really struggling, so I'm going to put the low rates back on, and then it's flyable. But of course, when you put the low rates back on, you can't do rolls or anything like that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a restrictment there. Right, so let's change scenarios. So I'm going to go on to exit. And then let's choose this meadow. And the meadow is pretty much more of the same as the last one, except you've got a figure of 8. But one thing that I notice about this is if you come far away like this, just the edge of the earth seems to disappear, and you can drop below it like that. It does reset, however, but yeah, I think, they maybe could have done something with that. I mean, it is only £2.50, and I do believe that somebody just decided to make this. I think it's an individual. I don't have the full details, but yeah, I think it's good. I think people will like it for their FPV practicing. How about that? I got 2 hoops there. Oh, spoke too soon. Oh, I didn't crash though. There's a bit more space in this one. You've got a bit more land and stuff. So yeah, I think if I practice with the touchscreen, I would eventually get it. I've only spent like an hour or so with it, and when I first got it, I could barely fly with it at all. It's definitely not as intuitive as the touchscreen on the FX quadcopter simulator. Yeah, so I think they need to work on the touchscreens there. So let's exit out of that, and I'll show you what you get with this island. You do get an extra scenario on the computer. And unfortunately, if you bought this on Android, you don't sort of get a free copy for your computer either. You have to buy that as well, as far as I'm aware. And you can see here, even though I'm on the worst graphic settings, we're still getting a drop in frame rate. I'm not sure if that'll come through on the video, because the screen recorder that I use does drop the frame rate slightly anyways. Oh, look, I hit a tree. But yeah, I mean, this is on the worst. And actually, if I crash it, you can see closely there that the trees are sort of swooshing in the wind Do we really need that? I don't know. But yeah, let me just show you something. If I exit this, and then if I go on to the graphics quality and change it to best, and then try and load the island. And bear in mind, this is a Nexus 5, flagship phone. It's going to take longer to load, which it is doing. But if you take a look at the trees now, they are jerking slightly, and that is true for when you try to fly as well. Just impossible. Anytime the trees come into view, just unflyable, may even crash your phone. It's almost crashing the phone there. So yeah, developers, please change these names, because no one wants to be flying on a simulator where they have to have the graphic settings as described as worst. Let's just go on to the playground as the last scenario. Again, I've set it to the worst there for the graphic settings. So this one's quite cool, and when it's on the worst, it still runs okay. The trees aren't as good a quality, but it's not, it's not really bad. And this one is going to be a lot more fun with using the controller, because you can sort of fly through the trees, not into the trees like that though. And so if you fly over here, same as before, you reach the edge of the world, and it just disappears behind you. I think they could have done something about that, but there you go. Anyways, this is the Android version. It's pretty cool. I would check out the free version before going ahead and buying it, because not sure you get a lot more benefits from buying it. You certainly don't get any more aircraft, but hopefully they will be updating it. Yeah, so there you go. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to connect a controller to this and show you how to do that. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of USB on the go on this channel, and that's what we're going to use here. Of course, your phone needs to support USB on the go, so check that first, but I'm going to plug this in here. And then what you're going to need is one of these little simulator dongles. They sell them on eBay for like a couple of quid. That is going to plug into the end here and light up. And then with these dongles, you get these cables here, and they're usually called something like 22 in 1 or whatever, and they come with all sort of transmitter adapters and things like that. So I'm going to plug in this cable here, like that, into the end. And then this can plug into your hobby grade transmitter, like so. It's going to plug into the back here. Okay, so of course you need to turn your transmitter on and make a model there. I've called this FPV sim. So whichever transmitter you're using, there are instructions on the website for this actually, for the Tyrannus, but this is quite a simple radio, so that wasn't a problem. I just set up a normal model there. Okay, so we're back into the application here, and we've got this option here which says input touchscreen controls, and if you press that it changes to USB controller. So we can now calibrate the controller, and if you press that you get a calibration screen, and if you move your controls you can see there these little dots move. Now this is for calibrating, say like a PlayStation game type controller, but we're not doing that. We're using a transmitter, and of course I'm flying mode 1 as well. So we need to make sure that we are getting the right options here. Now this is set up for a mode 2 controller, so I'm going to have to do it a bit backwards here. So it says here, hold your left hand stick to the left whilst clicking OK. And I think what it wants to do is yaw, because on a mode 2, yaw is on that stick, and in mode 1, yaw is on that stick. So I'm going to do that, you see, and press OK. You see there, it's now got yaw attached to the yaw stick. So next one is saying hold your left hand stick up whilst clicking OK. Well, that is throttle for mode 2. So I'm going to lift the throttle up and press OK. And you can see there now it says throttle, which lifts up and down on the screen. So what I've got here, hold your right hand stick to the left. So now it's doing the roll. So let's do that, and then OK. You see we've got roll there, and the last one, which is going to be pitch, and for me it's that one. So press OK, and it says that it's done, so we should be able to do some flying now. So let's go into the desert. Okay, so the moment of truth to see if I am actually any good at flying. Oh yes, this is so much better, so much smoother. It actually flies like a quadcopter. So yeah, those touchscreen controls there, not brilliant. I'm still not sure if I can get under any of these hoops, probably not, but much nicer to fly. Actually, we are on the low rates, so let's just do a crash landing. Let's change the rates now to high and see what we're able to do. Okay, so rates are on high. Let's take off. Oh, that's very sensitive, but oh yes, that is good. That is good. So let's just try and fly around a bit. Oh, this is much better. Yes. Some people did mention, oh, you should just connect up a controller for that, but like out of an Android app, I'm not really, I'm not sure that I'm after that. You know, plug in a controller in. It's not very portable, this. I think my field of view is slightly too high. See if I can fly. Yeah, let's try and change the increasing that. Let me just show you, right? If we go into the, if we exit out of there and go into the settings there, custom settings, and if I increase the field of view, say, save and exit, and then let's go fly that same place. You get a really sort of distorted image, I find. It's not really that relatable to, like, say, a wide-angle lens on a camera, which is what it's trying to simulate. I guess in the real world on a computer, it doesn't translate very well. So let's go to exit there, and let's custom settings. Let's see what happens if we press reset to default. There we go. So the field of view stays at 60. Let's angle the camera slightly down a bit more. Let's leave it at about there, actually. Okay, so save and exit, and then let's try this meadow one. Let's see how badly I can fly on here. Whoops. I'm still not great at it seems. It's so much easier though with the controller. So people keep asking me quite a lot, actually, are you going to do any stuff on Miniquads? And the answer is no at the moment, just because every man and his dog is doing Miniquads. And there are some great videos out there already, say RC Model Reviews. They did a complete build log on how to build one. So they don't really interest me a great deal at the moment. That may change, but I'm having fun at the moment with the 450 size quads and getting stable footage. These are more about the flying experience than, oh, lovely crash there. They're more about the flying experience than getting sort of decent video. So I would say that I'm a bit far behind really when it comes to the hobby. But I don't plan to do any 250 size stuff at the moment, but that could change, and maybe it's this simulator that's gonna change my mind. One thing though that I think is certain about these FPV quadcopters is they do fly very similar to a plane. You're angling the camera forward. That's because you're mostly flying forward. It's really hard to hover when the camera is angled up anyways. So yeah, I'm not sure there is much of a greater difference between the quadcopters and the planes, but that's just my opinion. Let's get some rolls in there. Not doing a very good job flying it, but yeah, I must say though, I'm having fun with this. It is fun to try and get through these hoops, although I'm not doing a very good job of it. It's much easier to fly with the controller. I'm probably just gonna fly with the touch screen just for a bit of a laugh, but you're not gonna get any sort of serious experience from that, really. I probably actually, if you become really good at flying with the touch screen, then you probably ace it with the controller. Oh, I'm just so bad at this. I did actually, before I made this video, I managed to get through an entire figure of 8, but I think it might be because that I'm looking at it through the phone screen, and the phone screen's very small. I find that when I plug it into the computer that I'm able to be more accurate with my flying. But yeah, this is going to be a great simulator for, you know, practicing 250 size quads. The graphics are a little bit disappointing, really, considering that they take up sort of so much memory on your phone and also the computer as well, because my computer is running a fairly high graphics card and it runs at a fairly high temperature when running this, but you know, probably the same temperature it runs when it's running Grand Theft Auto 5, so certainly not on par with their graphics. So I'm doing much better here. I should not have said that. Yeah, so this is it working through Android. I do like how that you can just plug in a USB dongle into your phone and have it work. If you've not got a computer and you've only sort of got tablets and stuff, whoop, that wasn't very good, then yeah, it's a good option for that. But yeah, that's the Android app. Let's go and see how it works on the computer. Okay, so this is the PC version. As you can see, it looks very similar to the Android version. The only difference is we've got this car park scenario down here. Hopefully they will add that to Android with an update, but we will see. I've also got the graphics quality set to best. Now, I've got a top-notch graphics card in this computer, and that is making me wonder whether this is completely the same version for PC as on Android, because on the best settings, it didn't run very well on Android, but it runs fine on the computer. And I can also take a look at the differences between the worst and the best. I think I'll be able to see it on the computer better when you're looking at a 5-inch Android screen. There's no difference at all. So I'm sure that will come out on the recording on Android, but we'll see. Anyways, you've got the input controller the same. You can actually, if you've got a touch screen on your Windows, then you know, you can use that, but I'm using the USB controller, same as before, calibrated exactly the same before, with the throttle zeros at the bottom, with custom settings here, all exactly the same. So save and exit, and let's go to a scenario. Let's go to that meadow, and let's see if I'm any better at flying than I was on the phone. Probably not. So I'm just going to do a takeoff, and let's see if we can fly through some hoops. Not brilliant at it, but it's better. I've got a much better sort of field of view that I can see stuff through. Whoops! Still not great at it, it seems, but much easier than on the phone. So it seems that doing it on the PC is you get the best results, basically. Just because I'm on a bigger monitor, I can see, I can sort of guide myself through these hoops a bit better, be a little bit more accurate, but it still seems that I'm not too great at 250 FPV flying. Maybe I need to practice on this a bit, and this is sort of what I'm getting at with simulators, because I get asked a lot when I'm flying by a lot of people that, you know, how do I get into this? Where can I buy one from? And I always say, don't buy one, go on a simulator first. They are priceless, really. And some gamers say they don't understand the point of simulators yet, but it's not really for it to be a game. It's so that you can sort of improve your flying skills. And look at this, I've had literally just a minute with it, and already I'm able to fly through these hoops better. Now, I like this one because you get sort of like a gradient there. Oh, nearly hit it. You get a gradient. Oh, it's getting a bit squirrely. Yeah, I really like this figure of 8. Look, it goes all the way around there. Can I get through this one? I probably should be flying a bit faster than this. The FPV racers that I have seen on YouTube all fly at full pelt, and I'm not doing that, but this is as good as I can get. Lovely. Let's take a look at this timed race option. Here it is on both Android and the PC version. You can change the number of laps, and what happens if you click it? You get a countdown, and then the hoops light up. Would you call them hoops? I don't know what to call these, but they ding when you go through them. It's quite cool. And I don't see any timer timing down. Maybe it's going to tell me the time at the end or something, but maybe it's something to improve your flying. Here we go. Oh, I'm doing quite well. This is the one that I like. Look at this, where you've got this sort of gradient and you have to be clever on the throttle. Oh, am I gonna make it? Oh, probably not. I got a bit squirrely there. Ding! Okay, are we nearly all the way around? I think I did it! Ding ding! 43 seconds! Not bad! Victory roll! Victory other roll! Victory crash! No crashes. Go! So I wanted to try and get as close to that 43 seconds as possible and beat it. Ding! Going a little bit faster. Oh, it does have the time at the top there, look. Don't look at it! It'll only make you crash and try and make you more competitive. Bing, bing, bing! Whoa. So squirrely. Go smooth. Smooth on the sticks. Smooth on the sticks. Any movement that is too fast like that one is gonna make you slow down. 32, 33, 34, blang! Victory roll! I smashed it. I bet there's people who can go through this in about 20 seconds. That will never be me. Okay, let's just check out those other scenarios. Let's exit that and let's check out the island where we've got some trees. Hopefully we'll get some nice shots of me flying elegantly through the trees and not hitting them. Oh, the water looks a lot better on this than it does on Android. Let's see if I can get through here. Oh my god! Oh my god! I nearly gave myself a panic attack then. I don't know how these people fly this. How am I gonna fly through here without hitting any trees? Oh, it's not too bad actually. When I watch those people do that FPV racing, it really doesn't half get my heart going. Yeah, not good. Oh, I could spend some time with this though, I tell you. Whee! Get a nice flip in. I very rarely fly actually in acro mode on any of my quadcopters. Maybe I should a bit more. Oh my goodness! I think I'll have a celebratory roll there. Just a little island in the middle of nowhere. Oh, it's so scary when you start to approach it and trees are there and stuff. Nope. No good. Okay, what was the other one? Oh look, yeah, you've got the trees there. So let's just exit that and change it to the worst. And see what that's like on the same scenario. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not brilliant. Yeah, the trees have got sort of like a pixelated texture quality to them, but it's not that much different. There's not that a huge amount of difference in the texture quality, so blah, whatever. I don't think it should have been named the worst. Woo! Yeah, getting some skills. It's actually glitching a little bit on the computer there. I'm going to exit out of it and change it back to only the very best. Only the very best for my videos. Let's go into the playground and let's do some playgrounding. I didn't really go into that one on the other video. Let's see what you get. Yeah, it seems that the world still ends at some point. Let's try and do some crazy flying and probably fail. There's a lot more gradient in this one. Let's see if we can fly through this gap in the trees. Whee! Oh, bad idea. Yeah. What do you think? Think I'm good enough to get a 250 size quadcopter? I think if I had one, I would seriously break it all the time. Is there a slide back there? Wonder if I can go down the slide. Problem is getting it back into a hover with the camera angled slightly up. The quadcopter's always going to want to move forwards there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, not good, not good, not good. Right, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to cheat. See if I can get us down the slide. See what happens, move forward. Yay, slide! Oh! Oh, that's really cool. The physics there on the slide works. Very clever. The graphic definitely looks better on this one. Let's see if I can do this, get through this little gap here. Down the slide. Yay! Yay! Slide! Okay, I think that's enough of that. Oh, this is fun, guys! It's definitely cool adding your controller and these little dongle things. They don't cost very much. A couple of quid off eBay. If it's raining outside, or if you're looking into getting one of these 250 quads but you're not sure if you can handle it, I'm sure that this is accurate. Look at that! I love it when people on those videos do rolls and stuff. You can do rolls with a plane though, and I like these forward rolls that they do too. Very brave. Oh, I'm starting getting addicted to it. Oh, it's going to cost me so much in props though. Go through that tree. Fly into the tree. Okay, let's go to the last scenario here. Press exit and go into the car park. This is going to be disastrous, I'm sure. Oh, you get an echo on the sound. That's clever. A lot of people are doing FPV in these car parks, aren't they? Might be good for my micro. Oh my goodness! I'm not doing well here. Oh, does the ground light up there? Or is that... No, it's just the lights. Yeah, it's the light coming out. Can we fly outside of this thing? How do I get outside? I'm lost. I always get lost in these things. Oh, we've got a thing. Ooh! Yeah! Oh. That's a bit weird. Oh, okay, I'll try and ignore that. I'll try and stay within the confines of the car park, because it seems that we're in some kind of Truman Show in here. What happens if I go away from here? Oh, it doesn't like that. I bet I can't get through one of these gaps. Oh my god, I'm actually panicking. This is not for the faint-hearted. Oh, I clipped the props. Very accurate there. If you just sort of clip the wall slightly, you're gonna crash. Can we go down in here, though? It only seems to have one level. That's going up. Can we go down in the car park? Are these the down ones? I'm never sure. That one's up, this one goes down. Yeah, let's go down. Oh, this is cool. In the car parks that you see on YouTube, there's always like a sign somewhere, and someone flies between the chain. Oh, getting squirrely. Someone flies. Oh no! Not doing too well. What I'm looking for is a sign to fly through or something. Maybe there isn't one, and that is just on my particular YouTube videos that I watched. I'd never make it through there anyway, so I'm not skilled enough. Just flying around in my car park. I have to say the FPV feed is crystal clear. Must be using some kind of high definition, latency-free feed. It'd be kind of cool if there was like some OSD info on there, but I'm sure this thing is going to get updated. The only problem is having it on the PC is it's not going to update itself, whereas on Android it is going to update itself, isn't it? So maybe that's something to watch out for if you bought the PC version. I'm doing very badly here. Let's go outside again. I think outside was up here. Yes, let's go up here. Whee! Nice little roll. So there you go, guys. This is the 250 size FPV simulator. It's cool, actually. It's addictive. The graphics aren't brilliant, but it's definitely going to do its job in teaching you how to fly FPV. Oh dear. Even though it doesn't seem to have done a very good job on me. So I think I'll end it there on a crash. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.